I found a dinosaur egg on the beach, and I should have left it there. Because a few days later, this is what it led to. At the time, none of it made sense. Something strange had been happening near our town. At first, it was just warnings.
This is a breaking emergency alert. New offshore sightings have prompted immediate coastal warnings. Residents must follow
Then
emergency
military
protocols.
patrols started showing up. Fish started washing up along the shoreline, and nobody knew why. And then I saw it. I had no idea what I was looking at. It just shouldn't have been there. It wasn't broken. It wasn't moving. But when I touched it, it was warm. And that should have been the moment I walked away. Called someone, reported it, anything responsible. But I didn't. I brought it home. Now, I used to have a pet iguana, which looking back was definitely not the same thing. But at the time, I figured if this thing was alive, maybe I could help it. So I did everything I could think of: heat, shelter, protection. Then I waited. Days went by, and nothing happened. Eventually, I just kind of stopped checking. Until one night, I heard something. And suddenly, that impossible thing I found on the beach wasn't just an egg anymore. It hatched. The next morning, I woke up and thought I had dreamed the whole thing. But then, I saw what was left of the egg and realized whatever hatched was alive in my house. He was way smaller than I expected. I mean, for something that came out of a dinosaur egg, he honestly just looked kind of curious. Still, I wasn't about to assume tiny meant harmless, so I did what any rational person would do. I offered him my finger first, and instead of biting it off, he just kind of nibbled. That was probably the exact moment I got attached. Because somehow, this prehistoric little psychopath trusted me. And once that happened, I realized I had a much bigger problem. I had absolutely no idea how to raise a dinosaur. So for the next few hours, my search history got really weird. I ordered basically everything I thought might help. Heat lamps, substrate, food, and a few things I definitely didn't need. But if this thing was staying, he was gonna have a proper home, and watching him explore it for the first time made this all feel way more real. Over the next few weeks, things started changing. The more time I spent with him, the more I started figuring him out. Like the fact that he was ridiculously picky about food. Absolutely obsessed with water, and followed me everywhere. At that point, I should have been more concerned. It mostly just felt like having a puppy, a dinosaur puppy, which, now that I'm saying it out loud, was definitely insane. I even gave him a name, Spike. And once he actually started responding to it, that probably should have been my first real warning. Because by then, I wasn't just raising him anymore, I was attached. And it wouldn't be long before someone noticed.
Hey neighbor, I got another one of your packages.
But honestly, I was having too much fun. I didn't think about the consequences. Although, there were a couple moments that felt a little off. Spike was smart, like really smart, and somehow we were actually figuring each other out. I learned his favorite foods, taught him to play fetch, how to go for walks. We took more walks down that shoreline than I'd ever admit, and somehow I actually trusted him. Well, mostly trusted him. I always kept some fish on me, just in case, which I didn't exactly love. But Spike definitely did. The only problem, he wasn't staying small. It was easy not to notice. A little hungrier,
Hey neighbor, yep, more mail, here you go.
a little
Weighing
heavier,
several tons, the Spinosaurus wades through the
a little more destructive. But then it started getting harder to hide.
Hey, neighbor. I got another package of yours.
Between the food,
Me again.
the noise, the damage, and the increasingly large meat orders,
Wow, you get a lot of mail.
apparently I wasn't the only one noticing.
I keep getting your mail. You know, the neighborhood's getting kind of worried about you. Are you okay?
Which was honestly a fair question. So, yeah, at that point, I probably should have stopped. But instead, I did the exact opposite. He just didn't want to stay inside anymore. And honestly, I didn't blame him. So I figured I knew a place we could go. Nothing crazy, just a quiet stretch of shoreline, far enough away from everything. It was perfect. He was calm, focused, like he actually understood what we were doing. We set up camp just before sunset, and for the first time, everything just felt normal. Like none of this was insane. Then I must have fallen asleep. But when I woke up, Spike was already awake. He was watching something I couldn't see. And for the first time, I felt like he was protecting me. With the sun rising, I figured it was probably time to head back. I told myself it was nothing, but looking back, that was probably the first real warning.
Comparing the massive adult at 40 feet long to the juvenile at just 6 feet. The size difference is staggering.
But then
Breaking news.
everything changed. The warnings came back. Shoreline closures, military sightings, something massive offshore. And for the first time, Spike started acting different. Nervous, restless, like he could hear
okay.
something I couldn't.
Nice
I
and
tried to
easy.
calm him
That's
down.
a good boy.
But then he heard it. And before I could stop him, he ran straight for the ocean.
Breaking news confirms intensifying offshore disturbances. Military assets are active near the shoreline. This is a critical coastal evacuation alert. Immediate action is required.
That's when I realized I wasn't the only one looking for him. By the time I reached the beach, the military was already there. And then I saw what they were preparing for. At first, I thought it was an island, but islands don't move. It was a massive dinosaur, and Spike was running right towards it. And I know this probably sounds insane, but I ran after him because no matter what he was still mine. Military behind us, apex predator in front of us. And then everything changed. She wasn't there to attack. She was looking for him. I understood that, but the military didn't. And there was no time to explain it. This should have ended right there, but it didn't.
Animals mean no harm. Stand down.
the dinosaur zoo showed up, and suddenly everyone started listening. No panic, no chaos, just one guy stepping out like he'd seen this before.
This is the plan. We secure the specimen and evacuate the area within the hour. All right,
And
team,
somehow,
remember the protocols.
he
I
got
want
the
your
military
armored
to
vehicle
stand down.
securing the LZ.
Establish the containment zone immediately. I need
Then
the
he
helicopter
walked right up to my Spino, and in about 2 seconds, he understood everything.
All right, listen up. We have a confirmed breach in Sector 4. I want 2 teams in the armored vehicles. Air support is online.
She wasn't a monster. She was a mother. And once the dinosaur zoo understood what was happening, they guided her home, back to the zoo. That's when I realized I thought I was raising a pet. But really, I was protecting something ancient.
That's a good boy.
What you did here was remarkable. You gave him a chance. But now, he's ready for something bigger. Today we're introducing Spike, one of our newest arrivals. He came to us under some pretty unusual circumstances.